Bear near 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 near. Bear near 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 near. On the next episode of Stay Rad One Blog TV. Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. You know, I got a couple samples sent to me the other day, and this normally isn't the type of wine that I'd be tasting for you guys. I just thought it was interesting when I heard of it. I got contacted by these guys from the Fun Wine Company, and this is their Friends Fun Wine label. These are, what size are these cans? I want to say 250 milliliter cans. Really small cans, but they hold 2 servings in here. These cans are, and these wines are both, I want to say, 6% alcohol. What is this? Yeah, 6% alcohol by volume right there. These are both coffee flavor infused wines. And I say coffee flavor because there is no caffeine in this, and this is a fairly low alcohol wine. I just thought it'd be something interesting to try. I gotta say also, I mean, branding wise, it's kind of nice. Notice that logo right there. Reminds you of maybe a really popular sitcom from the late 1990s. But they've got a Chardonnay here. It's a Chardonnay and Cappuccino blend, and then also they've got Cabernet Espresso. So, you know, like always, we're going to start with this white wine and see what happens. Wine in a can is always interesting too. The PR company that sent this to me was also suggesting that for the holidays you could heat this up in the microwave or, you know, in like a saucepan or something. I know a lot of folks, not me in particular, but a lot of folks do like warm wines during cold winter months. For me, I'd rather just, you know, have it chilled. These guys are running for like, I want to say $2 a can, and they got a pretty wide distribution. I was reading that you could find these at Walmart's and like 7-Eleven. So keep an eye out if you're interested. We'll see what's happening. So, I mean, the Chardonnay has a typical Chardonnay-like color to it. I would say it's a little bit less golden than your typical Chard, a little more light in color, but, I mean, pretty close to being varietally correct here. And on the nose, this is all, what are they saying, Chardonnay and Cappuccino? I mean, this really is just all Cappuccino. It's like that toasty vanilla and coffee type aroma here. Yeah, I mean, really more than anything else, it's like coffee bean, a little bit of cocoa flavor there. And yeah, a little bit of like vanilla extract too. There's nothing on the nose that says wine at all. Let's check the palate. Sweeter than your typical Chardonnay, sweeter than most white wines. This is almost dessert wine style. Like I could almost think of like a white wine, coffee infused dessert wine, and kind of, you know, pitching it from that angle. I think it would make a lot more sense than to just have a big old glass of this on its own. Then again, it is really like low in alcohol, so I mean maybe it's more of a daytime session type of wine, but wow. Really sweet. I would say, you know, as far as Chardonnay goes, there are those tropical fruits that are there that you would often notice in a in like an unoaked type of Chardonnay. Like you are getting those tropical notes. There is again that vanilla and coffee type of flavor. Really, honestly, I can see this as being like a mixer. If you wanted to do like a different type of cocktail, I think that would work out pretty well. And for $2, I'm not mad at them trying to do something a little bit different. And honestly, it's a little bit interesting. This is not hardcore wine at all, but you know, it's an interesting type of play. Gosh, I guess score-wise, It's like a 72. You know, you've seen me do 72s and just yell at the screen, but this is a $2 can of wine with some coffee flavor in it. 72 is not that bad for this. Let's try this red wine here. This is a Cabernet coffee espresso. Now, I'm not sure if they even say Cabernet Sauvignon anywhere on here. So, I mean, we could be talking about Cabernet Franc. Yeah, there's nowhere that I can see where it says Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm going to assume that that's the case when they write that on the label, though. Let's pop that open. Got a different glass here. And I mean, it really does have that typical Cabernet Sauvignon color. I mean, it is that ruby type of red. A lot lighter, and there's a lot more light traveling through. I mean, on sight, visually to me, this is more Pinot Noir in style. And on the nose, that's all coffee. And on some level, all of a sudden, you know, I'm having this sense memory, and hang in here with me. I'm having this sense memory of going to the Ridge Vineyards Montebello component tasting in 2012. It was for their 2011 vintage, but they did the component tasting in 2012. Hang with me there. And I remember that their Cabernet Franc, which you rarely are going to see on its own anywhere, specifically from Ridge Vineyards, though. And I remember just on the nose, you know, this wine that had just been sitting on that new American oak had very much like a toasty mocha espresso type of nose, along with that, you know, that dark red wine. And honestly, that's what I'm smelling here. Like, so if you wanted to know what, and this sounds so ridiculous, if you wanted to know what like some components of Montebello would smell like early on, this is very similar. And that's shocking to me. I mean, I almost would buy it just to smell this. This smells really nice. Yeah, just these toasty espresso and mocha type of notes with those dark red berry fruits in the background. Now on the palate, again, very sweet. And something that I didn't mention with the Chardonnay that I'm also noticing here is there is a little bit of like a frizzante, like a bubbly type of characteristic to these. Now, whether or not that's intentional or whether or not they really don't degas this wine during the process, there is a little bit of that fizziness to it, which again, I think makes it something that you could use as a mixer for some cocktails to kind of liven it up. There's an all right acidity there. I mean, it almost has like that sugar and acid balance of like a nice Riesling. And here we are with a red wine. Really those toasty mocha espresso type of notes are what are shining through here. There is that nice red berry characteristic in the background, and man, for $2, this is a steal. It's really not gonna, you know, if you're this hardcore wine geek, you really got to take it for what it is, right? And score-wise, I'm giving it a 78, and I'm recommending that you try this. This is not bad, and I think it's something that would be enjoyable, something that's totally different, right? But wow, not bad. When's the last time you were just totally impressed with a 78 point wine? Because I really am. Good job, guys. And I'll enjoy the rest of these samples. Thanks so much, guys. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Till next time, everybody, stay rad.
Stay rad.